This is the Berlin Wall of sexual politics. I believe what we're seeing with Harvey Weinstein is so important and a chance for us to come together. Angelina Jolie, Gwyneth Paltrow, Ashley Judd, Mira Sorvino. They have all come out as victims of Harvey Weinstein's disgusting behavior. The situation has gone from really bad to really much worse. In almost a week, allegations have mounted that Weinstein sexually harassed an untold number of women over the last 30 years. Sunday night, Weinstein was fired from his own company. Yesterday, his wife, Georgina Chapman, announced she's leaving him. He had just said, she's standing with me 100%. She said, no, you're a disgusting pig. The couple have 2 children. God bless them, 4 and 7. Yesterday, the New Yorker published a story that dwarfed the original New York Times piece that last week had even more appalling allegations in it. The New Yorker story came out, and it's stunning. But NBC decided not to run that story. The story quotes 2 women who say they were raped by Weinstein and 4 others who describe being touched by Weinstein without their consent. 4 additional women say he exposed himself or masturbated in front of them. 16 former and current employees at Weinstein's company say Weinstein had a system of preying on young actresses by inviting them for business meetings, then dismissing all the other employees from the meeting so he could be alone with the actress. How does a system happen when no one around knows of his behavior and everyone is so shocked? All of the victims told the New Yorker that they were scared of Weinstein's retaliation, fearing he would ruin their lives. Weinstein released a statement denying the rape and retaliation accusations, ending it with, Mr. Weinstein is hoping that he's making enough progress that he'll be given a second chance. He's only in Hollywood. Now that his ship is sinking so fast, former President Obama, Hillary Clinton are feigning their surprise that their fundraising pal is actually a creep. Obama, whose daughter Malia interned at Weinstein's company last year, said, Michelle and I have been disgusted by the recent reports about Harvey Weinstein. Any man who demeans and degrades such women in any fashion like this needs to be condemned and held accountable regardless of wealth or status. Hillary says she's shocked and appalled. Yes, but were they disgusted, shocked, or appalled when Weinstein was signing those Democratic fundraising checks? No. All these after-the-fact denunciations from celebrities and politicians, we have to be careful because some of them are meaningless. This Weinstein saga has been made into a left or right issue, and it is not. But one thing is being made crystal clear about the liberal elite, and that is respecting women and protecting them from predators like Weinstein is top priority, just not when the checks are still rolling in. I really don't want to get into the politics of all of this, although they are important. Hillary Clinton took 5 days to come out against Harvey Weinstein. What I really do want to do is I want to talk to you about a way for us to come together. I think personally that conservatives are bored by this story, or they don't think it applies to them somehow or another. This is, the left eating their own. This is a really important story because this gives us something we can come together on. Now, are we ever going to come together with, Ashley Judd? No. But can I stand with Ashley Judd on this? Yes. Should we? Yes. Should we on the right who say that these things are important? Now, warning. If you dismiss this with Donald Trump, you're going to have very little credibility. This is why you must preserve your credibility. But if you didn't excuse that behavior from Donald Trump, then now is the time to play your card of credibility and say it is wrong no matter which side does it. I really believe this is a Berlin Wall moment. And why I say that is, I've said for a while that everything is about to change. All the old systems are about to change. All the old ways we've done business are about to change. This is part of that. And this is a good part of that. And now we've had it on both sides. And so what's happening? Well, we're either going to have what happened during the Berlin Wall in Germany, which is it reset and it became a free market. It did change in Germany. Or you're going to have what happened in Russia, and that is the old leaders, the old communists, the old KGB guys just took off their uniform, put on a tie, and pretended not to believe in the things that they used to believe in. And they just became more wealthy and more thuggish. There's going to be real change and fake change. Fake change, you're seeing this, quite honestly, I think, in Hillary Clinton. First of all, I don't want to judge President Obama at all because I cannot believe President Obama would ever send his daughter into a guy's, he heard that he was a monster. I can't believe anyone would ever send their daughter into that. So I don't believe that Barack Obama or Michelle Obama knew this about Harvey. However, I can't believe that all of the good Hollywood friends wouldn't call up Barack and say, don't send your daughter there. Unless it was your daughter's really not his type. And what does that mean? Or is it because, well, he's not going to do anything against Malia because you're the president of the United States and you're probably the only guy that can hurt him. So he's going to take care of your daughter. Well, what happened to It Takes a Village? Nobody decided to tell President Obama? Or did they? And he dismissed it. We as men need to stand up. We as men need to, I have to tell you, I have not seen this behavior in my own personal life. I have not seen guys treat women like this. Maybe when I was younger, maybe. I don't, not like Harvey Weinstein, but making crass comments. I don't see it, but there's a lot of things that happen that I don't see. But we all have daughters. We all have wives. I don't want my daughters going through this. I don't want them or anybody to have to worry about this kind of stuff. This is so frightening because he had so much power. And yet, I have a really hard time because they all seem to know about it. Can you play the audio from 2013, Sarah? The audio cut, this is from 2013. This is the Oscars. They're announcing the Oscars. And listen to this and listen to the crowd's reaction.
The 2012 nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role are Sally Field in Lincoln, Anne Hathaway in Les Miserables, Jackie Weaver in Silver Linings Playbook, Helen Hunt in The Sessions, and Amy Adams in The Master. Congratulations, you five ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
Listen to that laughter. They knew. They knew. This is 2013. It was an open secret. Is this okay in our society? I mean, this was the problem with Donald Trump. No, just because he's a celebrity, just because he has power, he shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. Those are all the things we've always hated as Americans. We've always stood for the underdog. Here they all knew it was happening. There's a story out, there's two. One, and this gives me hope, Donna Karan had to apologize for coming out and saying, well, it's women. It's just, look at the way they're dressed. They're asking for it. Really? A fashion designer? And you're not exactly designing modest clothes, Donna? You're saying that women are asking for it? She's had to apologize for that. I hope her company suffers. I hope that there are women all over the country who say, I won't wear any Donna Karan anymore because you've exposed yourself as to who you are. Somebody who will excuse this kind of behavior. Rose McGowan. You know who Rose McGowan is, the actress, Stu?
Yeah. I mean, I know of her.
Okay, she was Tatum in Scream. She accused Weinstein of sexual harassment before settling a lawsuit against him back in the late 90s. She said she told Ben Affleck all about it. Ben Affleck apparently had a conversation. She was forced to go to, after this attack, she told Ben, they were forced to go, she was forced to go to this press conference. She told him at the press conference what had happened. He was horrified by it. Now, Ben Affleck just came out with a statement, said, I'm saddened and angry that a man I used to work with used his position of power to intimidate, sexually harass, and manipulate many women over decades. The additional allegations of assault that I read this morning made me sick. So McGowan tweets out this, GD, I told him to stop doing that, in quotes. That's what you said to my face, Ben. The press conference I was made to go to after the assault? You lie. This is a Berlin Wall moment. And if you let those who were part of this system, if you let those who joked about it and allowed it to fester without using their own power to stand up, they're just going to change uniforms. And they'll allow it to happen with somebody else. This is a moment where we can all come together. We can put politics aside, and we can do the right thing for our wives and our daughters, and quite frankly, our sons. How many of us as conservatives have sat down with our sons and talked about this issue and said, this is absolutely unacceptable, and made this crystal clear to them? Because I got news for you. All the crap they see coming out of Hollywood is teaching them the exact opposite. So, it's interesting because now we've seen this on both sides. Roger Ailes is a great example of this. This is the kind of stuff that Roger was accused of doing. Not to this degree, but pretty close. And, I worked with Roger Ailes, and I wasn't aware of this. I had heard those rumors, but you can't do anything on rumors. I mean, what are you gonna do? I wasn't close enough to say, hey, are you the dirtbag that everybody says you are? You didn't know what was true or not because you never saw it yourself.
And we have to, watch our righteous indignation, which is actually correct. But that doesn't mean we lose due process. That doesn't mean we just start accusing everyone we hear a rumor about of horrible things publicly.
No.
I mean, there's a standard here that we have to maintain as a society that protects people that are still innocent until proven guilty.
So this is interesting because Megyn Kelly and I had a conversation one time, and I don't even know if she remembers this. It was in her dressing room. And I went into her office, which was just full of clothes. I got a suit. Megyn Kelly had wardrobe of clothing. And I said, wow, all this for you? And she said, yeah. You can keep it all, too, if you allow Roger to dress you, if you allow, the not Roger, but the company to pick out your clothing. And I told her a story. I said, it's really interesting. I said, because at CNN, I remember a time when research came back on one of their hosts, and when she was wearing something a little more revealing, her ratings and her test numbers went up. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't say anything to her. They had to try to lead her to the water, and they were like, gee, look at this test and this test. There's different scores. Why do you think that is? And this person had to say, well, probably because of the way I'm dressed. Oh, I never thought of that. And I knew that had happened at CNN. And I said, interesting. He never has to have that conversation with you. He never has to have those conversations with any of the women here because he's just saying, you'll wear this, this, and this. And so he doesn't ever have to cross that line. Very smart. That's the closest thing that we ever got to. But everybody knows that Fox News, they sex it up. Everybody knew that. So what are you going to do? But if Megyn would have told me at that time, Glenn, you know what? He's also sexually harassed the women here. Megyn, I would have believed. Because Megyn was at the top of her career. She had nothing to gain by it. And I just would have believed her. I would have stood by her. In fact, I came out against Roger Ailes after Megyn said that because I believed her. Not that I didn't believe Gretchen, but, there was problems with Gretchen back and forth. I didn't know what was true and what wasn't. It's a horse apiece. If you're not involved in it, what do you know? When Gretchen said something, I thought, that could be true, but I didn't want to throw either of them under the bus. Once Megyn stepped in, Megyn had nothing to gain out of this and wasn't having those kinds of problems. How many people, Ben Affleck is one of them, how many men in Hollywood knew about this and had the power to stand with them and chose not to.